Welcome everyone to another interview. If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Stef and I'm the Psychic Soul Alignment Coach. And today what I'm doing is I'm interviewing a past client of mine on her experience of taking a program of mine. It's called Soul Aligned Impact. This is a powerful 12-week program in which I really help spiritual entrepreneurs develop themselves on such a deep level to more fully align with their souls, so that as a result, they're able to then create their businesses from this place of true soul alignment, and they're able to serve people to the highest of their ability because they're literally doing the inner work to be able to come from that space of true love and being of service. So thank you so much, Angela, for being on today and allowing me to interview you. Super excited to be speaking to you. I always love talking to you. And let's just see what comes through in these interviews, because we always just kind of go with whatever comes up in the interviews and stuff. So Angela, if you could just for me for a second, kind of let the people who are watching know, where were you before you actually decided to sign up for Soul Aligned Impact? Because we actually worked together in Remembering Who You Are last year, and there's an interview here on my channel. I will put it up here in the cards for you to check out as well, where she shared her testimonial on her experience of remembering who you are. But like, kind of, could you explain to the people before, at least, like, where was your mindset at? What were your challenges before you actually decided to think about seeking support and signing up for Soul Aligned Impact?
Okay, so I know that eventually I'm gonna have my own business and, you know, be working with clients, but at the point that I saw the post for the Soul Aligned Impact program, I felt really stuck. Like I knew there was something else. There was something that I needed to discover in myself that I was not able to find. You know, I was having a really hard time. And I just felt really stuck, and I just was like, I need to know my next step. I don't know what my next step is. And then I started seeing your videos. So it was just like, just happened to, you know, I was just feeling very stuck. That was pretty much, you know, really that's all I can really, how I can really explain it is I was just at a place where I didn't know how to move forward, and I was like beating myself up for not being where I wanted to be, and it was just like a cycle, and I'm like, I need help. So that's when I reached out to you.
Were you at the point where you were like, okay, I want to start a business, but I have no idea how? Or were you at the point where you were like, I want to start a business and I'm going to start doing this and I'm taking action, but I'm not getting anywhere? Like, where were you at it specifically?
I wasn't really taking action. I mean, I was kind of starting to share my voice a little more and like, you know, talk more about my struggles and things like that. But I wasn't really like trying to start a business. I didn't really know how, you know, I was just kind of watching what everyone else did. And you know, I did jump on a couple calls with a couple like business coaches, and some of the things they were telling me, I'm just like, I don't want to do that. Like, that just doesn't seem like something I want to do, you know? And so I was like, well, maybe this entrepreneurship thing is really not for me. Like I just, and it was really frustrating. But no, I wasn't really putting myself out there as like a coach per se. I was doing like Reiki healing and things like that, but as like a coach or a healer, I was not putting myself out there like that. And I had a lot of resistance to doing that. And yeah, so that was actually part of what the program helped me with. But I had a lot of resistance towards being a healer and coming out and telling people, you know, what I do and how I do it. And I didn't want to be perceived in the wrong way and all of that. So yeah, I wasn't really working towards business goals, but I knew that I wanted to get there, but I just didn't know how. So I kind of needed some, like, you know, something to bridge the gap for me, to show me like I can actually do this.
And if memory serves me right, like I believe you took my Discover Your Soul's Purpose program in March, and you signed up for Soul Aligned Impact in May. And when you reached out to me about Soul Aligned Impact, I believe you did mention that you were taking some kind of business course or something like that. And you were like, I'm not sure if this is a right fit for me, or I don't know, at some point along the way, I think maybe it was a Discover Your Soul's Purpose. When you were thinking about signing up for Discover Your Soul's Purpose, you were like, I'm already taking this thing and I'm not sure if I should take on another course or something like that. And I was like, tune in and see what you feel called to do or something like that. But
yeah, I was. And for the
go
life
ahead.
of me, I can't remember what else I was taking. Like, I was in another course of some sort, but I don't remember what now. But yeah, I was in another course. Yeah, I don't even remember what it was now, but it happened to, it was like ending around that time or something, and I was nervous about something like that. I'm sorry, I don't recall what else I was in,
No,
but yeah,
it's
I
okay
was in
because
something. Yeah.
I think when you reached out to me about taking Discover Your Soul's Purpose around that time, you were like, I'm not sure how this is different from what I'm taking or what I'm doing right now in regards to this
Yeah.
course or something. When I just explained it to you, I was like, look, this is what Discover Your Soul's Purpose is about. It's to help you powerfully align with your soul's purpose, really understand the importance of it, why it matters so much, why you're ready to do this, and to really just align you with that. And to help you to understand that it's not necessarily about doing all of like the marketing type strategies or whatever that most other business courses teach, and just to really align powerfully with your soul and begin that process of doing it more from the space. And I don't know, I guess there you decided to sign up for that. And then you signed up for Soul Aligned Impact. So you were seeking to, start a business because you were in this
Yeah.
course and you were in Discover Your Soul's Purpose. And
Yes.
then it was so funny, like the day that you reached out to me about signing up for Soul Aligned Impact, my guides were like, write about this. And then I was like, what? I don't know. Like, I remember when I wrote that post, I was like, whatever. I'm just writing whatever. Here you go. I did what you said. And then, like, literally, like, less than 2 minutes later, you messaged me right away. And you're like, Stephanie, I want to sign up for this thing. And I was like, oh, okay. I should pay attention to you guys. I should always pay attention.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I had seen your posts in the past, and I don't remember exactly what that one said, but that one really spoke to me because, like, literally I read it. I'm like, okay, I need to talk to her. Like, I just need to.
Yeah, and I loved
Yes.
it because what you said to me legit, like I think like 2-3 days before you messaged me, I literally like wrote out, I scripted out. I was like, my clients, the people who come to me are the ones that know that I'm the coach for them. They just know I'm the person for them. And I don't know what else I wrote. I have like the journal somewhere. And then like literally
Yeah.
like when you messaged me that day, you were like, I just know I need to work with you because we had such great, work in the past with the other programs and
Yes.
and this and that. And I was like, oh my God, I'm manifesting what I'm writing. This is like
Yes.
powerful. So.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I did know that you were like the coach for me, I guess. I don't know. It's like, and what you're doing is like what I am meant to do also. So it's like, I just know like and like your marketing and stuff really speaks to me because that's how I kind of want to, that's kind of what I was feeling, so yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Well, that was like the whole really long intro of how we got here for anyone watching. But yeah, like, so that's where you were before you decided to sign up for Soul Aligned Impact. So could you share with people who are watching, what exactly did Soul Aligned Impact do for you? Like, how did it help you? How did it help you to become more empowered, to step into your truth, to own more of your purpose? Anything you want to share around that?
Okay, so the biggest thing I think was more of like trusting in myself. And I had started to trust in myself a little bit before this, but I was still very nervous about it. And I think a lot of what this program did was to help me to step into like trusting myself more, and knowing that like the universe will provide, and I literally, if my soul is like begging me to like do these things, and like I wasn't listening for so long. And so, and also like around like certain fears and things that I had, like some of the journeys that we did in the program, childhood traumas and things like that, but I was looking at the situations but not really the patterns of like what that brought about in my life. So like a lot of times these healing journeys, and I know even when I started the program, I was having such a hard time when I would go into these journeys, like seeing or feeling what wanted to come through, because I was trying to force, my mind was like telling me, to force certain things, like things that I thought I needed to see. And I had a really hard time feeling certain feelings at first. Like, I remember one of the meditations or something that I did, and it was all around like feelings of a certain situation from my childhood. And I couldn't go back to those feelings, and I couldn't go back to that. Like, I had numbed myself out so much in so many ways that I didn't even realize. And that's, I think, another thing that this program really helped me with is like, because I remember the advice that you gave me was just like, why did I not think of that? Like, this is awesome. So, and now that I can, like, I know that, like, I was blocking myself off from these feelings. I feel more empowered now, because like I actually can like go back and go through certain experiences and things like that I was not able to do before. And I'm one of the main things was like letting go of the outcome. That was another huge takeaway for me, and how so much I was trying to hold so tightly onto things that I thought needed to come about at this time and that time. And it's like, that's not how things go. And so just trusting in the process and trusting in my guidance, and trust in looking at the signs and all of this stuff, that was the biggest thing for me, is just being able to trust the process and trust myself, and step through so many fears. Like, there was so many fears that I hopped over, I guess, or went through during this course, before the course, during the course. Like, it was just and looking back at some of the old posts that I posted on Facebook, and like, I would hide it from certain people, like hide certain things from my family, that I didn't want to come out as a spiritual healer and all of this to them. And so just looking at like my memories on Facebook and seeing like the things that I posted, and like how I hid it from certain people. And now I'm like, now I just put everything public. I'm like, this is me, this is what I am, this is who I am, and so it really, really helped me to anchor in that, like, knowing and who I really am, and know that it's okay to be me. Like, it's safe, it's okay, it's fine. This is me. And so yeah, that was huge breakthrough for me. Huge.
I love, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, now, like, I've established more of it also helped me to like establish more energy practices, like like grounding, and like just if I'm going through something, like I've learned how to like navigate through my emotions, and and learn the lessons. It's been so eye-opening for me. Yeah.
I love, you said so many things. I hope I can remember it all, because I was like starting to take notes right now. Like, dang it, I was so late.
I just have so much stuff. So yeah.
But like, so a lot of people who are meant for soul aligned impact, these are people who are spiritual leaders, spiritual teachers, healers of some kind, right? People on the spiritual path who are here to help create the new earth. And a lot of us who are leaders and teachers and healers, a lot of times, especially healers, we tend to numb or repress a lot of our emotions and or things we're not feeling comfortable with dealing with them and feeling them and stuff. And your capacity to help others heal, it will only be as great as your capacity to allow yourself to feel through your things and heal through your things. So you have to become comfortable with that. And Soul Aligned Impact is not a typical business coaching program out there. It's a deep healing soul growth program. It's meant to help you come back to who you truly are, while also learning the things about business and stuff, but really coming back to the core of you. And you have to literally peel away all of these layers of all of these things that you're holding on to that are not allowing you to be the true you. And so in Angela's case, she was quote unquote being visible, but she was posting her things out there, but she was making it private for other people not to watch, which is, or see or read, and which is so common for a lot of spiritual people. There's a lot of spiritual people out there who feel comfortable only allowing their spiritual friends to see what they do in terms of their spiritual work, right? And not their friends and family. They try to keep it hidden. And if you keep doing this, you're going to keep yourself invisible and not allow yourself to make your impact. And so Angela had to take herself through this process of doing this deep healing and getting comfortable again with her emotions and taking herself through the process and not controlling her healing journey and stuff, and allowing herself to move through this so that she would allow herself to really more fully be seen and heard. And now she shares her authentic truth. Like when I read your Facebook posts on Facebook and stuff, I'm always so happy to read them because you're just like so much more unapologetic. You're so much more like just speaking your truth, you know, and just sharing what you believe in with so much more power and confidence than ever before. And it really transmits, you know, what I like, the energy that you're bringing forward. And so it just makes me so happy every time I see your stuff because you're being more of the authentic, true you. And you know, another thing that you touched up on is like trusting. You know, that's a lot of what the program teaches as well throughout the whole thing, like trusting in your healing, trusting in the process, trusting in your abilities, trusting in your intuition, trusting on so many different levels. Because as spiritual entrepreneurs, you know, if we claim that we trust the universe, right, we really have to walk that. And Soul Aligned Impact takes you through the process where like you're learning to start to like really walk that path, like really embody your spiritual beliefs. I think that's what really Soul Aligned Impact helps people to do, is really embody whatever it is that they say they believe in, and to really own that more powerfully. And it's so interesting because when you were talking earlier about how it helped you to face your fears and stuff, and it just came to my memory how I was like, I think the first module of the program was like all about facing your fears. Like we went like dead on, like with the tough stuff, right? And it's like, if you want to make a big impact in this world, you have to face your fears. You can't continue to play small. You can't continue to hide there behind the shadows or whatever. Like you have to face your fears head on and deal with them if you want to be an impactful leader. And like, that's how the program starts off, is like, boom, we're here. We're going to do this big work that we're here to do. We got to, you know, start looking at these deep traumas and fears and things in order to really allow ourselves to no longer feel small or intimidated by them or powerless or whatever it is, right? And so that's probably why you had some difficulty in the beginning to really allow yourself to feel and things like that, because, you know, we unconsciously, we're sensitive people, us that are spiritual entrepreneurs. We're very sensitive, and if something, you know, causes us pain or fear or whatever, like we're like, oh, I don't know. But it's about learning to get away from this reaction of like, oh, tensing up or being scared or whatever, and learning to really own our power and be like, I got this. Like, this is not going to scare me. We're going to move forward. I'm going to do this. I'm going to become the badass that I really am. I know myself to be, right? So I really appreciate you sharing all of that. And I don't even remember what else you said, but it's going to come back if it needs to. Oh, you know what? I also wanted to share something, because you had a lot of awesome manifestations throughout the program. And one of those, it was not related to business, but it was really awesome to see how during the program you started losing a lot of weight really, really fast, unintentionally. So if you want to share with anyone about that a little bit and let me know.
So I started, like, when I started releasing certain things, you know, one day I was like, oh, I feel lighter, you know, and I stepped on the scale and I was like 20 pounds lighter. And, you know, and I literally did not change anything besides, you know, I started just releasing like so many things that I had, like guilt and shames and just all this stuff that I was holding on to, that, and just letting go of it, it helped, you know, just release weight. Like it was, you know, and then, as far as like manifesting, I also had a really interesting situation where I asked the universe for $4,000, and the next week I got into a car accident and totaled my car and received $4,400, and I was just like, wow, like I manifested that, not in the way I would have hoped, but you know, it came, you know, so that was also something, like, you know, and just like you told me, like, as I work on the deeper healing and stuff, you know, hopefully I won't have to go into, like, I don't have to have car accidents to, you know, get this money, get the, you know, the money that I asked for. But I know that, like, now looking back, I know that it's because I had doubts on how this money was going to come. And I'm just like, there's no way somebody's going to pay me $4,000 by, you know, so I had doubts on the way it would come, but I just knew it would show up. It was like a weird, you know, and it did. And not the way I expected, but, yeah, so those were two like major things that was happening during this program too.
I love that, because you're not the first client that I've had that has lost significant weight from doing healing. This is why, like, I'm a firm believer. Like, I have my own experiences where, you know, every time my higher self really wants to get my attention or something will be off with my body. I'll have some kind of thing, and I'm like, oh my God. And if it causes me like a lot of inconvenience or pain in the moment, I tune in right away. I'm like, what is the message? What is the message? And I'm like, cool, I'm gonna work on that, heal. And then it goes away. It goes away. And I've had lots of clients, you being one of them, that lose weight, significant weight from this deep healing. And they look at their belts, you know, and they're like, or their pants, and they're like, oh my God, this is like loose around me. Like, what is going on here? And it's the healing work. It's because a lot of times weight does manifest because of unconscious emotional stuff that we're carrying. And when we actually give ourselves the time and space to do the inner work, and we're willing to look at these things that we've repressed for so long, we haven't wanted to deal with or whatever, and we actually allow ourselves to be open to that, we effortlessly release the weight a lot of times, right? And that's not to say that we shouldn't make the dietary lifestyle adjustments. Like, of course, you know, it's for your highest good, but it can fall off so much more easily. And the whole like money, car manifestation thing, that was so interesting and fun, because that was you learning lessons around manifesting and trusting in your intuition. I think that was also one of the things, right? Yeah, I think that was also one of the things.
Yes.
That was a big lesson for you, because again, go ahead.
It was that, because it was that day when I, you know, I had some errands to run, and, you know, I was supposed to wait. I was going to like wait until after I went to I had like a chiropractor appointment or something, and I was going to wait until after that. And I felt like I shouldn't go, but I did. I went anyways, you know, and it was really weird. It was just a weird feeling all the way. I was just going like up to the pharmacy or something, and it was just the weirdest feeling the whole time I drove there. And even like as I pulled into the turn lane, I had a weird feeling. Like, it was just so like, and it kind of like, even though it sucks to get into a car accident, like it really like showed me that feeling of when something's off. Like I never really, or when something's about to happen or something, like I never really like felt that feeling and was able to like see it manifest, you know what I mean? So it also like trusting in that feeling and feeling that feeling, and it was quite the experience.
Yeah, you know, because one of the things that Soul Aligned Impact does is it really forces you to learn to trust in your intuition if you're not doing so already, or trust more in your psychic abilities if you don't so. Yeah, like, and you know, maybe you want to tell people a little bit about like what it's like to work with me and how I make you do the work, and I make you trust, and I make you channel, I make you tune in. Like, you can let the people know, honestly, like let them know.
Yeah, well, even when I worked with you before, because I remember I was new to all the healing and all of this when I did your first program, and you know, I would like ask questions, and you're like, well, go journal about it. Like, here's a question, go journal about it, you know, like, or sit with it or whatever, you know, and I'm just like, ugh, like why? But it really helped.
You want me to just tell you the answers, and I will never do that.
Really helped. And at first, in the first program I did with you, that's kind of what I was expecting, you know? And well, this time around, I kind of already knew how you were and how it worked, you know? So I'm like, I know if I ask her this, she's going to give me you know, tell me to go journal about it before she gives me the answers. So, you know, maybe I'll just do that first before I go to, you know, so yeah. And it's not like you didn't, you were still there to guide me, you know, and after like, I would journal about it and be like, well, this is what came up. And, you know, and you would tell me like, oh yes, you know, this is what I'm getting to, or no, this is, you know, so it was definitely like a double check that helped me to trust in what I was getting better. You know, it helped a lot, in that. So yeah, it took me a while to understand, like, this is me, like, I have to do this healing myself. Like, she's not going to give me the answers. So yes.
I will never ever give you the answers. I mean, I think it really just depends on each client and where they're at in their journeys and stuff. But like, eventually I'd lovingly kind of give you that kick in the butt where I'm just like, you got this, you'll figure it out. Come back to me when you've done some on your own, and then we'll go from there, you know?
Yeah.
But that's made you better because of it. That tough love.
Yeah, no, it definitely has.
Yeah.
And it's taught me, like,
go ahead.
I was just, before I never, like, I had always heard of people talking about like journaling and things like that, and I had done it like here and there if it was something significant, but like it helped me to like journal. I journal almost every day now. Like it helps me to process things more. And I never thought I would be someone that like writes in a journal. I thought it was silly, but like literally I do all the time now, and it's amazing. Even like looking back on like some of the old things that I wrote, and I'm like, to see how far that I've come, like, it's amazing just to see, like, even like days when I'm like, oh, I'm not getting anywhere with this, like I can look back and be like, oh, that's where, like I'm not the same person I used to be. So it's, yeah.
Most definitely, you have completely shifted since we first connected and stuff. So
so much.
yeah, it's a journey.
Yes.
It's a process. We're all going about it to the best of our ability, and we have different lessons and different things we're here to learn, different experiences. And that's, I think, what really Soul Aligned Impact also helps you to do is really embrace your journey, embrace your process, your experience. Because those of us who are spiritual entrepreneurs, a lot of times, depending on what we're here to do, how we're here to impact people, we have to go through a certain process, experience certain soul lessons in order to be able to do the work that we are here to do. And sometimes that means that we take a little bit longer to move along our path to reach the material success that we desire, or these things that we desire to create in our lives. And when we're in that journey of like, and there's a taxi right now that just drove by that has like 111 on it, so it's like a message. But like sometimes in that journey of that process of like going through that process, we're just kind of finding ourselves caught up with like, oh, like, I just wish I could be there already. I wish I could have that. Or why is everyone moving forward in this way? And we go and against ourselves during that process, which where as Soul Aligned Impact, I think it really helps you to be easy on yourself, love and accept yourself, enjoy the process, allow yourself to move through it with grace rather than continue to create more resistance or bumps along your path. Anything you want to say to that? I think your dogs are probably like barking or something.
Yeah, my dog started barking a little bit. I'm like, but yeah, it definitely helped me to just embrace the journey, because I have like I said in the beginning, like I'm seeing all these people and I'm like, I want to do that. Like, why can't I do that? And it's not that I can't do that. It was just that I had a lot of healing stuff to do before I could, reach that point. And, and I didn't see that. And it was just, and this program really helped me to see that, like, this journey, like this, I'm going through this for a reason. This is like the journey that I'm going through. And this is like what I can help people with too. And yeah, it's just, it helped me to just trust in the journey more. Yeah, for sure.
That you can go ahead and mute yourself if the babies are making too much noise.
Yeah.
But let's see here. So anything else you want to share in terms of any other strengths that Soul Aligned Impact maybe helped you to develop inside of yourself, or what maybe changes you felt in how you carry yourself in life now and as you take action in your business as opposed to in the past?
Yeah, so actually being in the program helped me to embrace more of like my my psychic abilities too. Like I was really I had a hard, like it's the same, goes back to the same, the trusting, I had a hard time trusting what I was being given, what I was seeing, and so it helped me to embrace that more and to be able to help people and to just, yeah, like what so I see like these pictures in my head, and I just, I never knew, I thought like my mind was just making these things up, I never really knew. And it helped me to really trust that, to really trust in my abilities, and to, and that in turn also, like, I just feel like I'm a whole new person, I feel like even like day to day, I have more compassion towards people, and it's like, instead of trying to like help everyone and save everyone, it's like I have to let them just be who they are, and I have to, and it kind of helped me to set boundaries, with you know, I've been working a lot on like setting different boundaries with people and my phone and, you know, lots of things. Like, it's just, you know, and once I realized, it helped me to like take my power back on certain levels that that I was, you know, I was letting my energy leak away and all of the stuff that I just, yeah, I just I'm a whole new person, and I really, yeah, I just, it
you're
helped me
you're
to
such
trust and to,
you're such an
I
awesome
just,
person. Now you're
there's so much.
speechless.
I'm just like, I don't, yeah, there's just so much. I'm like, I don't even know how to put this all into words, but yeah, you know, that it was mostly just trusting everything, like, and that helped me to bring forth more of my gifts too, and to like show off, like, to these people, to show my gifts to these people, that like, to my family, you know, I made a post about like tapping into people's energy and like seeing what messages I receive. And, you know, it was a lot of my family that came forth and said, yeah, like, yeah, you can do that for me. And for a second I was like kind of nervous about it, but like once I started like going, and they were like, oh yeah, that's what's going on, you know, like, thanks for the thanks for the insight, then it kind of showed me that, like, I don't have to be afraid to show people my gifts. Like, I don't have to be afraid of it anymore. And
You can
it's
trust in
very
them.
freeing. And it's very freeing. I don't have to hide who I am. I don't have to hide my gifts. I don't have to hide my truth. You know, I am who I am. So
I love
yeah,
that, because I think especially for people, it's like the hardest sometimes to be who they really are around their family. You know, they have
yeah.
so many things that they have to work through in regards to that. And that's what a lot of times spiritual entrepreneurs are the ones that have a lot of pain or trauma connected to
Mm-hmm.
family. We're the ones that have gone through abuse, through bullying, through whatever kinds of stuff,
Right.
being the black sheep, all this other stuff. And so we have a lot of issues with our families a lot of times, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
we have to work through those things in order to really be who we are. You know, something that you said also that I wanted to ask, but I forgot, but I remember now again, is, you know, one of the focuses of Soul Aligned Impact is really helping you to discern the difference between ego and soul. That's like really, really big in the program. And could you
Mm-hmm.
maybe share anything you have to say around that? Maybe like a big insight into, you know, how to, like, how Soul Aligned Impact maybe helped you to really see or understand, or like how eye-opening it was in regards to how ego can get the best of you a lot of times without you realizing it, or anything around that.
Yeah. So for me, it was kind of like, if something was coming from my ego, it like made me on edge. It made me uneasy, you know. And once I started, like, when I feel something and it feels safe and it feels calm and I feel peace, it's like, that's my soul speaking to me. And like discerning between that was really difficult for me to start to learn, because, well, again, it's, right back to the trusting, because once I trusted my feelings, like, I'm having this uneasy feeling. So is this like something like my ego's trying to like make something out of this, or whatever. So for me, it was all about like following my feelings. And so now, like, when I have certain feelings, like, that's when I take out my journal. Like, if I have an uneasy feeling, or if I feel like a conflict or something, then I'm able to sit down and write it out. And ultimately it'll usually come back to like, oh, I was, this was a fear and I was taking it out in this way. And so yeah, I've just learned how to follow those feelings.
I like that you said that, because a lot of times, so what Soul Aligned Impact really helps you to do is discern the difference between true soul guidance versus ego, because a lot of times ego will mask itself as soul guidance. And in this case, when
Mm-hmm.
people initially feel like a hesitation or resistance or a fear, they're like, oh, that's my soul, that's my inner guidance, that's my intuition. It's like, no, that's probably like your deep subconscious stuff. And Soul Aligned Impact helps you to really discern and understand how to do that, to discern the difference between, hold on a second, let me tune in, let me really see what this is about, let me see if that's my pesky ego really trying to like keep me safe and protected and hold me back, or this is really soul guidance. And then doing that allows you to really lean into what is the true guidance there for you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, yeah. So, yeah, we're going to wrap up this interview. I really appreciate your time, Angela. Is there anything that you would like to share with anyone who is interested in Soul Aligned Impact? Anything you want to share with them about what they might get out of it, or why you feel like, maybe this program would help them? Anything you want to share there?
So like, as far as business, I learned how to, like, in a way, the way to follow my soul guidance, as far as like putting myself out there and trying to get clients and, all of these things. And it's just, it really brought me back to, like, the way I see it is like, it kind of just like brought me back to like my center. So I'm more like centered, and I'm more, like grounded, and I can make decisions out of like what is best for me instead of out of fear. And that, I think, has been one of my biggest takeaways, is like trusting in the decisions that I make and trusting in my guidance. I mean, that's definitely, and I don't feel stuck anymore. Like I feel like I'm starting to make progress now. Like it's like I had the same way, like when I took the last program, like it's like I had a blind over my eyes, and I like took a little bit away and took a little bit more and took a little bit more. And now, now I know I have all the tools to be able to move forward when I feel stuck. So it helped me so much, and I'm really thankful that I did it, because I was nervous at first, paying the money and all of that. Like it took a lot. I was actually very fearful at first, because I'm like, well, that's a lot of money, and like but I'm just, the way I transformed, it was so worth it. I was so thankful that
I love that you mentioned that.
Yeah,
I remember it was really stressful for you.
It was. At first I was just, but I'm like, you know what? I feel, I know I have to do it. Like, I just feel it. I know it, and it all
Even your
worked
dog
out.
knows it.
Yeah, she's back here confirming.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of times, what holds people back from getting the support that would radically move them forward is like the money aspect. And they're like, oh, but it's a lot of money. It's like, yeah, but it's your life you're getting back, or it's your transformation. You're literally saving yourself years of stress, of time, of energy, of money from breaking free from those patterns, because that's what I teach in all my programs, is like how to break free from patterns, how to learn those lessons, how actually to progress and move forward rather than stay stuck on that hamster wheel. So would you rather invest some money now? Yeah, maybe it's a bit, hefty maybe for you depending on where you're at, but it's going to literally propel you forward. So what would you rather do? Like save 5 years, 10 years and spend some money now, or take 5-10 years and then finally when you're ready still invest the money then, and then have to do the whole process anyway and move yourself forward, right? You could have like saved yourself some time there. And like, this is not to rush the process because we're on a process, but like there are ways of moving you along a little bit more quickly. So it's a decision, but yeah, I really appreciate you so much, Angela, for everything that you shared with us today. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you always coming on and doing these testimonials. you're the best. And I just love
it. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, and thank you so much for sharing your words with everyone about your experience of the program. That's definitely what the program, I feel, does. Is what you were touching on was basically the program helps you to do a business that's really in alignment for you, that really feels right and true to you and works for you. Because I'm not there teaching people like, okay, do it this way. Like a lot of people teach, there's nothing wrong with that. That's their strategy. They're perfect for whoever. But it's like, no, I help you figure out how to do it in a way that works best for you, and to trust in yourself and to trust in your beliefs and to really start embodying them so that you can create from that space. And yeah, you're doing an amazing job. And I'm glad that you now feel confident in being able to continue to take yourself on this journey of continuing to do this inner work and aligning yourself with your next steps and the things that you're doing to have success. One quick thing, if you don't mind sharing right now, is I also provided you, I believe, with the psychic business planning and strategy session. Is there anything you might want to share on that? Because I don't have any video testimonials on that, and that just came to mind, so I'm sure that they're like reminding me.
Yeah, so that actually, it kind of kickstarted I knew that like the program took me through and helped me to, you know, follow my what I felt the way it was to do business. But the way that you, when I spoke with you, it really helped me to kickstart, like what I was doing. And it was just like further trusting, because I, you know, this is kind of what I felt my next steps were. And when I spoke with you and you kind of confirmed that, it really helped me to move forward more powerfully. You know, it just was like another trust that I, you know, so I really did. It helped me a lot. And it gave me, you know, a couple steps that I need to take, and things that I still need to, like, you know, go through in order to show up even more powerfully. So yeah, it definitely, that helped me out a lot. It gave me the next few steps in my business, and yeah, it helped a lot.
I think your dog's like, wrap up this interview. I gotta go outside.
She's like, I gotta
pee.
go outside or something. I don't know, but
well, thank you so
Yeah.
much, Angela. I really appreciate
Yeah.
you so much. I will see you around online, and always keep me posted on how things go for you. And
Yes.
to anyone watching, if you enjoyed watching this video interview, please give this video a thumbs up, a like wherever you're watching from. Drop me a comment below if you want to share your thoughts, your insights, or anything you want to share with me from watching this interview. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already to see more of my work and benefit from it. I have a lot of free teachings here. And if you're interested in Aligned Impact, it starts this round of it October 22nd, 2020. So definitely reach out to me and ask about more information that you might need, payment plans, all that kind of stuff. There are free bonuses that are being offered until the 11th of October. So you'll be able to receive 3 1-hour-long private sessions with me if you sign up by October. So don't miss out on that, because it would really be super beneficial to have that extra coaching support along with the program. But other than that, thank you so much, everyone who tuned in, for your time. Thank you, Angela, once again. I'm so grateful for you and how generously you've given your time to me today, and anyone watching, and to your dog as well for being patient. Thank your dogs for me. And I will see you around online. Bye, love. Take care. Bye, everyone.